Hi, I'm Wilhelm. Today I'm talking about something that is one of my personal toughest challenges on the spiritual path. The desire to micromanage others, meaning giving them unsolicited advice, telling them what to do and how to run their life. If you are curious what the spiritual world has to say about unsolicited advice and how to overcome it, you may find this very interesting.
We human beings are social beings and are programmed to share our stories and experiences. We feel it is natural and the right thing to do to give advice to help and assist others in their challenges. And spiritually, there's nothing wrong with this, if such an advice is requested by the other person, but in most cases it is not. So why do we feel the need to impose our unsolicited advice onto others? Here are some of the many reasons. It can be the desire to help, altruism. We generally want to assist others and believe that our experiences or knowledge can be beneficial, thinking that what worked for us will work for them. But how do we know that? How can we possibly presume we know the life lessons and purpose of another person? The Dalai Lama said it so well. People take different roads seeking fulfillment and happiness. Just because they are not on your road doesn't mean they are lost. Giving unsolicited advice can also be our ego's tool to show off our knowledge and skills. Yet it implies that we know better, and the other person is emotionally or intellectually incapable of making the best choices. Such a behavior can be like an attack or a vice. Not surprisingly, the word advice carries the word vice in it. Giving unrequested advice can also show that we do not accept the other person and wish to change them to fit our own ideals. But in truth, it's not about them. It is always about us. The other person basically reflects back to us what we don't accept or love in ourselves. We project our own fears, shortcomings, insecurities, or unresolved issues onto others. Byron Katie said it so well. All the advice you ever gave your partner was for you to hear. Another reason for giving unsolicited advice can even be a subtle form of contempt, or a way to express our anger or hurt to the other person. Such an advice can be condescending and patronizing. Yes, there are many more reasons why some of us feel compelled to tell other people what to do or not to do. In extreme cases, it can make us into controllers, manipulators, control freaks who want to micromanage the lives of others. Such a behavior can also become abusive and narcissistic. Needless to say, that this form of criticism is hurtful to others and therefore creates nasty karma for us. It has severe consequences. But now let's look what the spiritual world has to say to all of this and how to overcome it. Why is it that we so often quickly judge other people? Gabriele answers, because we always tend to judge our neighbor and do not see our own part. Actually, it is because we do not apply the golden rule. The golden rule would always mean to ask myself, how would I feel if another were to judge me in the same way? And she adds, what upsets me about the other person is what corresponds to my nature, to my character. If I change this, then my character changes for the positive. One of the first things is to become aware of how often we are thinking critically of others and trying to micromanage their lives and affairs and are always ready to give unrequested advice. Gabi says, the negative feeling and thoughts are binding. We bind ourselves to the very person and the person's soul about whom we have thought or spoken negatively. Binding energy is therefore adversarial. And everything adversarial is causal, of cause and effect, and must be cleared up. Freedom is only possible when we accept the other person as he is or chooses to be. Then we don't impose our opinions and ideas on him. Have we ever considered how much time we waste thinking of other people and how we think they should live? Byron Katie has this fitting quote, I could find only 3 kinds of business in the world: mine, yours, and God's. Whose business are you in? Consider this for a moment. You and I are both having our usual day-to-day stresses and obstacles. At times they can feel like a heavy burden on us. And now imagine that in addition we are now stressing about others' lives and problems and how they live. This is a totally unnecessary extra burden. But it is more than that. We are not only trying to carry their burden, we are also binding ourselves to them and their soul, as Gabi reminded us. Therefore, consider just for a moment how liberating it would be not to have to worry about fixing others' problems on top of our own. Just live and let live, allowing them to be as they wish to be instead of imposing our rules and way of doing things onto them. That is freedom for them and mostly for us. It helps to visually imagine taking off our shoulders all the many thought complexes that we have created over time about other people and how they should live according to our opinion. What a relief! Feel it. If you wish, you may even now put that heavy burden into the Christ light and now watch how that negative dark energy transforms into positive light energy. So let me sum up what we've discussed so far. Most people want to be heard, want to be listened to, but don't appreciate unsolicited advice, even if it is well-meaning. So let us learn to listen more. Maybe that's why God gave us 2 ears, but only 1 mouth. Anything that bothers us in the other person and that we want them to fix can be a reflection of something in ourselves. Once we change, the other person will also change. But considering how hard it is to change ourselves, and we'll understand what little chance we have in trying to change others. When judging critically others and trying to fix them, let us remember the golden rule that says, "Do not do unto others what we don't want them do to us." So let's learn to send them light and love whenever they pop up in our mind. Whenever we find and affirm the good in the other person, we become impersonal and free. This means sensing the positive forces in him or her and at the same time sense them in ourselves. It helps to remember that the other person also has his or her team of spiritual guides that gently assist them. They have their own inner wisdom, path and timing. If we push them onto another path, then we are co-responsible for any detour and problems they encounter. We simply have to learn to respect their unique journey. And finally, can the person we are so critical about be an angel in disguise to wake us up from fears, programs and judgments that we should have let go of a long time ago?
Now, this is only about our need to fix other people. It's not about caring about them. That's another topic. But when it comes to trying to fix others, you can see I have my work cut out here. Luckily, there is a great little book that I have found very helpful and that covers many other spiritual topics. It's called Nearer to God in You by Gabriele. I'll add a link to this book beneath this video and also links to all the other videos that I've mentioned before. Please don't forget to subscribe and rate this video, and I will see you in my next one.